The knock on the door came at 3:17 a.m., 3 slow taps, like someone rehearsing a murder instead of requesting entry. Claire Morgan froze halfway down the hallway, clutching the kitchen knife she'd grabbed out of instinct. Her phone buzzed in her trembling hand. One new message appeared on the screen. "We know what you did. Don't make us come in." The wind had a strange way of whispering through the pine trees behind Nora Davis's house, like it was trying to warn her of something she couldn't yet understand. It was 3:17 a.m. when she first heard it. Knock, knock, knock. Not the kind of urgent pounding someone would use in an emergency. No shout for help, no neighbor's voice calling her name. Instead, it sounded calculated. Calm, patient, like someone who wasn't afraid to wait. Nora froze midway between her bedroom door and the kitchen. She hadn't even turned on the lights yet. Her body moved before her mind did. Bare feet cold against the wooden floor, breath shallow, hands trembling slightly. She had come out of bed because she heard something outside. She didn't know what she expected. Maybe a raccoon on the trash can, or the wind rattling her porch chair, but now there was no mistaking it. Someone was at her door, her phone buzzed in her hand, she almost dropped it. A single notification lit the screen. "Unknown number, we know what you did. Don't make us come in." Her throat tightened. What the hell? Her heart pounded so hard she could taste metal in her mouth. She wanted to believe it was a prank, some teenagers messing around, but this wasn't the kind of town where kids dared pull stunts at 3 a.m., especially not at her house, not after what people already whispered about her. Because in Hollow Creek, Nora Davis wasn't just the new woman in town. She was the widow who moved back alone. She was the one whose husband died and refused to talk about it. She was the one with secrets. At least, that's what they said. Knock, knock, knock. This time slower, like the person outside knew she was reading the message. She swallowed hard and forced herself to move. Quietly, silently, she stepped toward the front door, careful not to let the old floorboards creak too loudly. The house was dark. Only the distant glow of the street lamp outside leaked through the curtains. She didn't switch on the lights. Let them think she was asleep. Let them think she was scared. She was. But she wasn't helpless. She reached into the drawer by the entryway and pulled out the rusted handgun she kept there. It had belonged to her father. She had never fired it since moving back to Hollow Creek, but she kept it loaded. Just in case, and tonight felt like just in case. Her hands were sweating now. She pressed her ear to the cold wood of the door. Silence. No footsteps shuffling, no whispering, no breathing. Were they gone? Or were they waiting? She reached for the peephole, then stopped. What if someone on the other side was waiting for that? What if they wanted her to get close? Her phone buzzed again. She flinched. "Unknown number, open the door, Nora." Her lungs constricted. They knew her name. She typed back with one shaking thumb. "Who is this?" 3 dots appeared. Someone was typing. It felt like an eternity before the reply came. "You shouldn't have lied about what happened that night." Every muscle in her body went rigid. That night, the words echoed in her head like a gunshot. Her mind raced backward, to the storm, to the blood, to the scream she could never forget. But that was impossible. Nobody knew, nobody could know, unless click. A sound came from outside, metal, soft, sharp, like someone was sliding a piece of steel into her front door lock. They were trying to break in. Her instincts roared to life. She lifted the gun, pointed it straight at the door, voice cracking but loud. "Whoever you are, get the hell off my property." Silence, then a whisper right outside the door. "Close, too close. You killed him, Nora. It's time to confess." Her blood turned to ice, because those exact words she had heard them before in her nightmares. She backed away slowly, never lowering the gun. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from rage. Someone was playing with her, digging up the past she had buried, but nobody truly knew what happened. Not her family, not the police, not even the ones who suspected. So who the hell was outside her door, and how did they know? She stepped back toward the hallway, her breathing shallow. Her phone buzzed again. She didn't want to look, but she did. "Unknown number, if you won't open the door." "We'll make you," and then the living room window shattered. The sound of shattering glass ripped through the silence like a scream. Instinct took over. Nora spun around, gun raised, her pulse pounding in her ears so loudly she could barely hear anything else. The living room window, just a few feet away, now hung in jagged pieces. Cold night air rushed in through the broken frame, fluttering the curtains like restless ghosts. But she didn't see anyone climbing through. No movement, no footsteps, no shadow. They'd thrown something. Her eyes scanned the floor. There next to the shards of glass lay a small black object, rectangular, metal, familiar, a voice recorder. Her stomach twisted. She didn't want to pick it up, but she did. With trembling fingers, she pressed play. Static, then a voice, a man's voice, her husband's voice. Nora, stop, please, don't do this, I'm begging you. A struggle. Heavy breathing, something hitting the floor. Nora, I love you, please. Her vision blurred, the gun nearly slipped from her hand that night. That night, she had spent months trying to forget the sound of him begging. The sound of herself screaming back, but that night was supposed to be their secret. Nobody else was there, so who recorded it? Her phone buzzed, unknown number. Still think we're bluffing. She swallowed hard. She didn't respond this time. Instead, she whispered to herself, voice cracking, "What do you want from me?" She didn't expect an answer, but she got one. Knock, 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 this time. Not at the front door. At the back, someone was circling her house. She couldn't stay inside, but she couldn't run outside either. Think, Nora, think. She moved toward the hallway, clutching the gun with one hand, the recorder with the other. She kept her breathing quiet, her steps softer than a whisper. She turned the corner and froze. A silhouette stood outside the kitchen window, barely visible behind the curtain. Tall, broad-shouldered. Motionless, watching her, she aimed the gun. Get away from my house. But the figure didn't flinch, didn't move, didn't even breathe. She narrowed her eyes. Something was wrong. She took a step closer. Another. The figure remained still. Unnaturally still. Then she saw it. It wasn't a person. It was a cardboard cutout. A life-sized silhouette of a man, taped against the window from outside. Her heart hammered. Her hands went cold. They were toying with her. They wanted her afraid. They wanted her unstable. They wanted her to lose control. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Remember him now. She snapped. Who the hell are you? A moment passed. Then unknown number. You should have gone to prison the first time. Now we'll make sure you do. Something broke inside her. They didn't just want revenge. They wanted justice. Or their version of it, and if they really believed she was guilty, they wouldn't stop until she was in handcuffs. Suddenly, bang, a loud thud slammed against the back door. Then another. Someone was trying to break it down. She aimed her gun, hands sweating, knees weak when red and blue lights flashed through the front window. A car screeched to a halt in her driveway. Sheriff Daniels, the only cop who still talked to her like she was human. His voice thundered from outside. Nora dropped the weapon and stepped outside now. She blinked. He thought she was the threat. She didn't move. Another slam rattled the back door. She was trapped between the law. And something much worse. Sheriff Daniels stood behind his open car door, one hand on his holster, the other shining a blinding flashlight toward Nora. Put the gun down, Nora. She didn't move. Her breath hitched as another thud crashed against the back door from inside the house. Whoever had been taunting her was still there. Sheriff, someone's inside. They're trying to kill me. She shouted. Before he could respond, the back door burst open. A hooded figure stumbled out onto the porch, sprinting into the yard. Daniels swung his flashlight toward the movement. Freeze, hands up. The intruder didn't stop. Daniels drew his weapon. I said freeze. The figure halted. Slowly, trembling, they lifted their hands. Nora held her breath as the sheriff yanked the hood down. Her world stopped. It was Lucas, her late husband's younger brother, the quiet one, the polite one, the one who had helped her after the funeral. The only one who still checked on her occasionally, Lucas, Nora whispered in disbelief. His eyes were red, his face streaked with sweat. He didn't look afraid, he looked furious. Sheriff Daniels barked, "What the hell were you doing in her house?" Lucas didn't answer him. He looked straight at Nora and said the words that froze her blood. "I should have let you rot for what you did to my brother." Daniels stiffened. His weapon remained trained on Lucas, but his eyes flicked to Nora. "Is he the one who broke the window?" Lucas laughed. "A broken, bitter sound. Window, you have no idea what she's capable of." "Lucas," Nora said through clenched teeth, gun still raised, "you don't know what happened that night." "Oh, I know exactly what happened," Lucas snapped. "My brother begged for his life. You recorded it yourself." Her grip tightened. "Someone sent me that recording." Lucas smiled, but there was nothing sane in it. "I know." There was a chilling pause. Daniels spoke cautiously. "Lucas, did you send it?" Lucas rolled his shoulders, eyes never leaving Nora. "I found it on his old laptop. The night he died, he recorded everything. He was terrified of her." He pointed at Nora like she was a rabid animal. "She murdered him." Nora's voice broke. "That's not true." Lucas barked, "Then say it. What really happened?" She hesitated. Daniels looked at her, softening. "Nora, tell us." Her heart pounded. She had avoided this moment for so long. She swallowed and finally spoke. "Your brother was drunk." She whispered. "He got violent, like always. He shoved me. I hit my head. I tried to leave, but he grabbed me by the throat." Tears welled in her eyes. "He said if he couldn't have me, no one would." Lucas's jaw clenched, but his eyes wavered. "I pushed him back. He slipped, hit his head on the fireplace." She trembled. "I didn't want to kill him. I tried to stop the bleeding, but he just..." She couldn't finish. Silence. Daniels lowered his gun slightly. Lucas didn't. He stared at her. His rage cracked for a moment. He looked like a broken boy. Then he reached into his jacket. Daniels tensed. "Lucas, don't." Lucas pulled out a second handgun. Nora aimed hers instantly. Daniels shouted, "Drop it." But Lucas wasn't aiming at them. He pressed the barrel to his own head. "Lucas." "No." Nora screamed. He looked at her with hollow eyes. "If my brother can't have justice, I'll take it with me." Nora stepped forward, tears streaming. "Lucas, listen to me. If you pull that trigger, you become him." He trembled, gun shaking, breathing ragged. Daniels moved slowly. "Son, don't do this." Lucas's finger hovered over the trigger. His voice cracked one last time. "Then who pays for what happened?" Nora lowered her gun, her voice steady. "We both will." She tossed the weapon to the ground. Daniels looked stunned. Lucas froze. Nora raised her hands. "I'll face the truth, all of it, but you don't get to die tonight. Not for him, not for me." Lucas's breathing slowed. His gun lowered. His knees buckled. He collapsed to the ground, sobbing. Daniels rushed in, cuffing him gently. Nora stood still, staring at the sky, tears running silently. As they took Lucas away, Daniels placed a hand on her shoulder. "We'll figure this out, legally." Nora didn't answer. She just whispered to herself. That night didn't end when he died. It ended tonight, when someone else confessed. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.